everyone, this is Mitch with SC Weather. Hope you all are getting up and having a good start to your Monday. I got y'all an update on Zeta, which the latest update is a 70-mile-per-hour storm. Good chance it'll be a hurricane by the time some of y'all watch this video. So in a way, you could go on and call it a hurricane because right now, according to the National Hurricane Center, it is rapidly intensifying. It's undergoing RI. So it's going to be a hurricane possibly on the next update here at 8 a.m. or 11 a.m. Only has to go up another 5 miles per hour. So we pretty much have what looks like Hurricane Zeta right now that's going to slam into the Yucatan. It just got hit by a hurricane several weeks ago. Looks like it's going to keep on, staying at hurricane strength and possibly hitting New Orleans, Louisiana, things like that as a hurricane. But satellite imagery, it's starting to get kind of that look. It still looks like a huge blob of convection, but this is pretty much the look of a normal tropical storm. But I do think by the time it starts, there's still some pretty warm waters in this area for sure. I do think it's going to start to get that look where it's going to have that circulating look that most hurricanes look like. Normally when you get a low-end hurricane, a low-end Category 1 hurricane, they normally still kind of look sloppy on satellite imagery. But, and this is the infrared. So this is, basically showing them high cloud tops and where's all that convection going and things like that. But it's starting to look a lot better in the last video I did. I tell you that. But one crazy thing here is the spaghetti plots are definitely zeroing in now. They're kind of getting an idea of what they're going to do. I think, honestly, what it kind of does after it makes landfall is more the question for me of how it affects the weather here in South Carolina and the Carolinas and things. How quick does that trough pushing through really make it turn east? How quick? And that honestly has a big effect on the northeast weather too, because on the northern end of whatever's left of Zeta, could possibly be some cold enough air to give places up there a snowstorm. That'll be something interesting to watch for them guys up there for sure. But intensity plots, a lot of them have it pretty much going to a Category 1 hurricane, which it obviously will here in the next update. But this doesn't really matter, I tell you, because it's not going to get into some major hurricane. But it definitely sure does look like it's going to hit hurricane status. So here's the latest GFS. This is 12Z, so not 12Z, this is OOZ, so 06Z is coming out here shortly. But sure, here it is, making landfall Wednesday evening, right on Louisiana, right on New Orleans. And, guys, 979, that's borderline Category 2 hurricane. So take that if you will. We'll watch to see what develops here, but slams, huge chunk of moisture, breezy conditions as it weakens quick as the trough begins to push it east and northeast. Big area of heavy rain in the western Carolinas and northern Georgia and over the mountains of the Carolinas for sure. And this will be a quick blob of heavy rain. That makes sense. So it's going to be a lot of heavy rain with this wherever the main area of moisture goes from Zeta, but it's going to move in and move out quick. Big chunk of heavy rain very quickly. Unfortunately for me, it looks like it's going to drop some leaves here in the mountains, which I was hoping they were going to hang on a little longer. But hard to predict a tropical depression moving over the mountains in late October, but it's been a weird year. But as far as winds for the GFS, here you go. It comes in, and you can tell, the GFS wants to be super aggressive here. That's some pretty strong winds here on this eastern side of this eye wall here, slamming into New Orleans and things like that, and obviously moving inland, breezy conditions inland across the Carolinas and Georgia, Alabama, and things like that. Then it gets on out of here. This is the European model. This is just basically showing a good idea on where the ridging's occurring, where high pressure is, and there it is down there. There's Zeta. I think Europeans doing a good job on how strong the storm gets. Storm gets back over the Gulf as a tropical storm after weakening with the Yucatan. And, this European wants us to make a really big curve west before it, kind of plows into Louisiana, but you know, the European definitely is still more west than everything else. Kind of makes landfall, and then the trough, you know, it kind of sneaks in between a high pressure over here and a big cold front dipping through right here, and then it gets on out of here. Let's see, it makes landfall as, you know, maybe a Category 1 hurricane, high-end tropical storm, and it gets on out of here there. As far as winds, even a little bit less aggressive, obviously with a weaker system here with the Euro, but here it is in the Gulf. It's a little bit of just some insult to misery for folks in Louisiana, especially if the Euro happens where it goes more west and areas that's already been hit by 2 hurricanes this year. But I don't think it's going to do much damage. But breezy conditions into the mountains and the Carolinas, and it moves on out of here. Here's the HWRF model, which is staying, you know, I think realistic. You know, it gets back over the Gulf, and this is for Wednesday. Strengthens back into a Category 1 hurricane, maybe briefly Category 2, but this is mainly shown in Category 1. It looks like with the storm, the northern to eastern parts of the storm is going to be the strongest, but it slams into the region, brings heavy rainfall deep inland, and gets going. And this brings a lot of rainfall into the Carolinas, into the mountains and things like that. But wherever this kind of system goes, whether it's more north or more south, really is going to tell us how much rain here in the Carolinas we get from this storm. I think there's going to be a sharp cutoff south because I think most of the moisture is going to be north and northeast ahead of it, but it moves in and moves out. And this is kind of showing you a good idea where rain's going to be. It shows a big axis of rain moving through right here. You know, it's going to be some heavy rain where this sets up. And this is the European model. I'm not going to go through every single model and show how much rain is falling off this system. But it shows a tight area of really heavy rain, you know, 3-4 inches of rain wherever the heaviest rain sets up from Zeta, which is kind of hard to really pin down until we kind of get a little bit closer and see how quick the trough moves the storm, the cold front moves the storm through. But that's kind of what we got right now. I don't think this is going to be a major event, but I do think this is going to have a big effect on the weather here in the southeast, so I'll keep y'all updated. Y'all have a great Monday.